Hey guys, Trimble back here again. So, yeah, I know what you're probably thinking, what in the world, Trenton? Why are you wearing a hat? I was wearing a hat simply because I got out of the shower not long ago and I don't want to get sick. You know, sometimes you can get sick, especially in the cold months when like you wash your hair or you know your hair is wet and you walk outside, you might get sick. Has it happened to me? I believe it's happened maybe a few times. But I want to make some quick videos, and I wish I had more time. But I mean, I'm about to leave in a little bit. But long story short, I want to talk about suicide. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news and really social media in general, you've known that we've had 2 suicides this week, I believe. We've had Kate Spade and we've had Anthony Bourdain today. Well, not today. His suicide was reported today. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I woke up this morning and my mom said Anthony Bourdain committed suicide, and I was like, man, because it was so long, you know, and that was kind of ironic for me because it was so long ago when I watched this show, and it was like, man, like to just wake up and have to hear that, it's very sad. And not only that, but just think about the impacts that they've had on this world. You know, Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade, what they've done on this world and done on this, you know, this country, United States of America. Like, imagine what they've done, and then all of a sudden, it's just they're gone. You know. I think the crazy thing is that we really need to bring up suicide more in, I guess, society, and talk about the negatives and talk about what should be done to stop it. Even though suicide is not necessarily, suicide is like a disease because suicide spreads and it happens almost every day. I forgot what it is. It's the CDC? They said that a person commits suicide like every 12 minutes. I don't know how true that is, but it's just a statistic that might be true. Excuse me. And so, to continue what I'm saying, I just want to bring up this because suicide is something that should be brought up more in, should be talked about more in society. You know, I was watching the Fine Bros, you know, react and whatnot, and they were reacting to XXXTentacion. And they were talking about how the teens were saying that suicide should be brought up more in society. And it should be, because it is something that happens every day. And teens need to especially think about suicide and need to think about it and say, I don't want to do this. Okay? And I want to talk about that. Because suicide is honestly something that I've had to prevent other people from committing. I've had friends literally text me and be like, I want to end it. You know, they've said, you know, I'm tired of life. I've seen people Snapchat, I'm tired of life. I've had a person in front confront me and be like, hey, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't, you know, and hey, I've seen death. I've experienced death. I watched my dog die, and he died in my arms, you know, and that hurt me a lot. But it never really, after that experience, it never really hit me that, man, I want to kill myself. No, I never felt that I need to go to that point and get rid of my own life. You know, even though that was a very sad moment in my life, I never felt that, hey, I just want to get rid of my life and I don't want to live this life anymore on this earth. I never felt that. And like I said, I've had friends say, I'm done with life, I want to end it, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm going to kill myself. I've had friends tell me that, I've had people tell me that, and I've had to tell them, hey, you know, God has something in store for you. We don't know what it is, but there's something for you. And it's just not worth killing yourself. Think about the people that you're going to affect when you kill yourself. And so, you know, like I said, if you look, and I'm going to tell this before I keep going, if you ever have a friend or if you ever have somebody that says, hey, I don't want to be here anymore, I hate my life, look, you need to encourage them and you need to tell them, hey, this isn't worth it. Suicide is not worth it. Because I'm going to tell you this, suicide is not worth it because, look, there's so much more to do in life. You have the chance of living, you have the chance of a lot of success. And the problem with suicide that people touch on, but it hasn't really been brought out very much, is the fact that suicide is such a selfish action. You have to understand what suicide is. Suicide is taking your own life. So it's selfish, you know, in that, because you're literally taking your own life. But then it's more selfish. It's one of the most selfish acts, even though it's something that is a deadly act. It is something that is such a selfish act because you affect everybody else around you. Because you literally, you know, killed yourself, and then you have other people, such as family, friends, maybe even animals, such as a pet. And just imagine how you affect these people once you're dead. And when I say affect, I'm not talking about effect. We're talking about AFFECT, affect. And so when you kill yourself, you're not only affecting your own life and your soul, you're affecting everybody else that's around you. You know, and it's so sad. And that's what I'm saying. Like, suicide is something that it needs to stop. People need to talk about it more and need to. And when I say talk about it more, I'm not talking about like just talk about suicide's terrible, suicide's terrible. Like, explain why it's terrible. Explain life. Explain the benefits of living. Explain things that aren't just suicide's bad, suicide's bad, suicide's bad. Because we all know suicide's bad, but expand upon that point. You know. But this is just part one. Stream more back here again. I'll see you guys later. Peace.